if we can just get all of Dan Campbell's pressers and Hard Knocks onto a CD, can I just purchase that and play it every morning on my way to work?
What makes great coaches is being able to connect with their players. And you can't connect with all your players the same way.
But people don't see the leadership. People don't see those small things that Hard Knocks will allow you to see.
What we're going to see as same old Lions fans is if it's the same old way. It's the perfect timing. I thought I wanted this last year. Absolutely not. I want this now. I want every serving. This is like the greatest Thanksgiving dinner you're going to ever eat.
But specifically on Hard Knocks, we do have to talk about different things. One of those things being, who are you most excited to see? And I know a lot of people, I've been making content about Hard Knocks, and the heavyweights have talked about it as well. But I do want to go around the room before I give my answer. And I'll start with you, Sam Flannel. Hard Knocks debuts tomorrow on HBO. Who's a player, a coach? I don't want to limit it to just players because it could be a coach as well. Who are you most excited to see tomorrow?
I have two. I'm going to go with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, because I believe those two are the key to the Lions having a successful season. Aaron Glenn was obviously a guy who, even though the Lions' defensive statistics don't look great at the end of the year, he did a great job. He was dealing with a defense that wasn't very talented and had some big injuries to guys like Romeo Okwara and Jeff Okudah. He was so highly thought of that he interviewed for head coaching jobs. And that defense put up some impressive performances against Baltimore and Arizona, for example. And of course, on offense, Ben Johnson, is he going to be the play caller? Is he going to be the guy that steps in and continues on the momentum at the end of last year where the offense kind of broke out, where Jared Goff broke out? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, and they finished the year 3-3. So I'm excited to see how they coach, how the players respond to them, and because I believe those two are the main keys as far as the coaching staff goes.
What do you think about that, D-Mac? He went with two coaches.
Absolutely. My first one is Ben Johnson.
I love it.
I just want to see the interaction. You know, I think what the best part of Hard Knocks is you really get to see the conversations and communication. Like, is he a guy that goes to Goff, or the way he interacts? Is it a committee where he's asking questions? Is it more back and forth, or is it more authoritative?
Right.
Like, we're going to do it this way and then we're going to do it this way, because you really don't know. I like what Sam absolutely said because of how last year finished, because there's something that it's like, oh, something is different. So I guess when I say Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, it goes on the offense, but really because he's not the new guy, but he's the new guy in the new position.
Right.
Where the offense is supposed to be as powerful as they are, especially the offensive line. I want to see the interaction. I want to see the communication, because all great offenses across the NFL, right, they click. When you hear them in the huddle and you hear when the Bucks and Brady are humming, even Rodgers, even Mahomes, when all the best ones, it's like there's a synergy there between the coaches, staff, the offensive coordinator, the quarterbacks, the way it goes. So that will be the one. Number two, and this sort of feels out, but I'm interested in the linebackers. You know, it's easy to say, yeah, you have the eye on Okudah.
Right.
To see about that eye on Swift in the backfield. Is this offensive line as dominant to our defensive line as what I'm hearing? Right. But again, it's like the speed. Right. And obviously, Malcolm Rodriguez from what we're hearing, but to me it's Derek Barnes. To me it's Derek Barnes to hear some of the great things that I hear coming out of camp, but we need, right, those linebackers, and we need to not only be able to cover horizontally sideline to sideline, because that's where we were weak. We got to see if we have that speed, but also too, because remember Derek Barnes last year, you know, coming out of college, was supposed to be one of these new age linebackers. So we could have something there. So really, because that to me is because it's the bend and don't break defense. I know that Aaron Glenn's preaching the violence, and I love that run to the ball. But to me, it's more so, if anything, it's the speed of our linebacking crew.
And Mike G says in the chat, he actually asked you a question, which I kind of want to hear the answer to. D-Mac, what coach for you, past or present, reminds you of Aaron Glenn, a guy you'd run through a wall for? Do you have any former coaches that, you know every time they speak, you're like, I'm going?
The close is a Daryl Sutter in Calgary. He's the coach now. He coached me in Calgary when I played there for my first year. He went on to win cups in LA. He's that old school cowboy mentality. It's more like if you're a fan of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Right? He's sort of like Kevin Costner's character in Yellowstone. Just like the no BS, can talk to him, but at the end of the day,
I'll tell you like it is.
Tell it like it is,
Yeah.
and sort of maybe challenge your manhood a little bit. Right? So some of us don't mind that, but he knows how to, again, it's a psychology. At the end of the day, what makes great coaches is being able to connect with their players. And you can't connect with all your players the same way. So that's what it is. How can he get that dog out in everybody else? But Daryl Sutter was the guy that you'd play hard for. Like, Scotty did it differently. See, Scotty was the same psychologist, but he did it us against him. Right? So it was all of us going, screw that old man. He doesn't know anything. I mean, what's he ever won?
No, but it is. It's about connecting with your players. And I think that's why I agree with Sam. I would say Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, I'm most excited for. Ben Johnson specifically, because I do have a history with Ben Johnson. When I was on the morning show, when he first got promoted, this is the guy I wanted as the OC right off the bat in October. So the fact that he's here now and he's in the position, it's the biggest, obviously the promotion, the biggest one of his career. And it's not even just the Lions. Like, guys like Zach Taylor say good things about Ben Johnson. I think he's more widely regarded as a new up-and-coming, innovative offensive coordinator. So that's the guy I'm most excited for. But I got to admit, guys, like, I wouldn't hesitate. If we can just get all of Dan Campbell's pressers and Hard Knocks onto a CD, can I just purchase that and play it every morning on my way to work? I mean, I need that type of energy every single day. But yeah, it'd have to be Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. What about you, Spetty?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, I'm listening to what you guys are saying. I'm looking in the chat. We got people talking. Big Play Jay says Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Sheila Ford. Joey says I want to see Sheila. I think he's kind of joking. Mike G said Aaron Glenn. Like, the coaches are such a hot commodity that it's awesome to see. But obviously, I can take the easy way out and say my boy Malcolm, see him get some shine. He's been running with the ones, but Jamal Williams, man,
dude, he's a personality.
The guy's electric. He is built for camera. Like, I think he's going to be great, and I'm excited to see Amon-Ra, because he has been leading that wide receiver group. He has been going first in all the drills, talking to all of them, being that vocal leader out there. Even though we'll get to it in the next segment, DJ Chark has been tearing it up out there, but Amon-Ra has been leading that group. So I'm excited to see him. They've had the boom mic in the huddle a lot with the wide receivers, so I think they're going to feature him quite a bit.
And this is why I'm so excited for Hard Knocks 2, is because it gives us a chance to see players on the inside. Like, we see Amon-Ra, we see how well he plays, but people don't see the leadership. People don't see those small things that Hard Knocks will allow you to see. Like, we see Jamal Williams on camera. He's entertaining, but seeing Hard Knocks, you'll see the things that they don't put in the public, and that's what I'm most excited for as well.
That's a great, right there, Juicy. It's they're gonna show you the things that you don't know, or that it's always out there, right? Because the camera's always on, but you don't get to choose. I'm going to do an interview. I got to be on my best behavior. All right, D-Mac, don't swear. Try not to, think your thoughts out. Don't tell them how you really feel about this person. Just, I'm going to show you that, right? You got to go through it. It's always on. The emotions of training camp. In the huddle or the games going on, I refer this back to when you win Stanley Cups and they have the tape that the league follows you around for your playoff run, and at the end of it they play, here's you in the series and you were down 3-2 in Phoenix and there's the bus ride, and stuff like that, the nostalgia, which is going to go back. But you're in the heat of it, they're around, you could give us, you don't care. And half the time it's like, sometimes, watch this little secret, and here's D-Mac tidbit number 1, is when you're watching, if somebody goes off on a tangent, like where you go, wait, why did he do that? And then they had to beep him out or whatever else, is because he stepped himself into somewhere, right? He's got himself into saying something that he's got to blow it out of proportion, so they forget about it, so they don't. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Right? So a lot of times, but guys don't care. When they're on the field, when that ball's in play, when that puck's on the ice, they don't care. But you're going to see, because then you can't hide, right? What we're going to see as same old Lions fans is if it's the same old way. Because you can't hide that. And it's the same things that we're talking about is why you want that Dan Campbell motivational drive to work tape
Yeah.
made for you, right? Because it's the continuation of what you're seeing, and we will see it. Maybe not all of it week 1, but by the end of it, we're going to be able to talk about going, wow, I didn't know this about him. I didn't know this about him.
Yeah. It's all raw, and that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to.
Look,
as
it's
well.
all raw, baby.
Look, it's all raw.
It's all
D-Mac,
raw, baby.
perfect timing. And I think another person I can add to that list, Jared Goff. Like a guy that, has spoke recently, went on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and the boys and discussed how he wants to be a better leader in Detroit. And I think doing so, you're going to see on Hard Knocks, you're going to see behind the scenes, you're going to see how he leads the huddle, because we see what Amon-Ra does with the receivers, but I want to see Jared Goff in the huddle. So Jared's up there for me as well. I know this year's a big year for him with a lot of talent around him. And like you just hit on, D-Mac, like you can run, but you can't hide from those cameras. They'll be there.
Just remember, if you just there's a camera on you at all time.
Oh yeah.
Right? Enemy of the State, Will Smith, 25 years ago.
It's always there.
It's always there. So just pretend it is. But it'll be good. And I think that it's the perfect timing. We said this all along, right? It's the perfect timing. I thought I wanted this last year. Absolutely not. I want this now. I want every serving. This is like the greatest Thanksgiving dinner you're going to ever eat.